everyone. Welcome to Humanized, and today I'm here with an extra special guest, Jason Lee.
Oh, thank you for having me.
I'm so
Humanized.
excited.
I love being humanized.
That's literally why I knew you were the perfect person.
Yeah.
Like when I literally conceptualized doing videos like this, you were literally one of the people that I thought of. I'm not being nice.
Well, that's good.
I'm not being nice. I mean it.
I appreciate
And Jason,
that.
the reason why I wanted you here so badly, first of all, thank you. Because
Yeah.
Melissa told me that you wanted me to read your book.
Yeah.
I was touched because a book is like a baby. And so it was like, oh, a book is like a baby.
Somebody else just said that, and I never thought about it like that.
No, it's an
But
intimate thing.
No, it is.
So for someone to say, hey, Jason actually wants you to read his book, I was like, oh, Jason might like me. I know.
Well, yeah, I've been watching the podcast. I'm here for the food, and you're very much like me, very opinionated, very articulate, and very smart. So I'm like, okay, I want to know what she thinks. Because I really do want people's real opinion about the book. I'm not doing interviews because I want people to say, oh, it's great, isn't that? I love the book, and I want people to love the book, but I really want people to read it, and I want people to tell me what they think, because this is the first of many books now.
I love this. Like, I'm going to be honest, I was nervous. I was like, it's so beautiful that he wants me to read it, but if it's not something that I enjoy,
You have to tell me.
I'm physically incapable. It's like a compulsion. I tell people all the time, I have a disorder where lying gets caught in my throat.
Yeah.
When I start coughing.
Well, that's better than other things.
Oh, I already like.
I'm on a different show. Humanized.
No, sex is human.
Oh, okay.
Our last episode, we actually talked to a publicist who is asexual.
What is that?
Exactly.
What is it?
So I just want you to know that we talk about sex a lot on this show.
Well, I went on a date with somebody who we were in the car, and we were feeling the vibes or whatever, and he says, "I saw you bi, because I never asked you bi, straight, gay, what?" Because I really just believe in sexual fluidity. I don't believe you should be this, you should subscribe to that. And he says he was pansexual. I had never heard of pansexual.
I'm pansexual.
Right, so that means you're just attracted to energy.
Yes, like literally straight, gay, bi, trans. I dated somebody who was trans.
Really?
Yeah, a trans man.
Yeah, this is a whole other episode, though. I can't. I was tricked by a trans once, and that's another story. But I did... I just recently told Rihanna that if I were to ever be with another woman at all, it would just be her. She's literally the only one.
Do you understand Rihanna is the patron saint of this space?
Have you met Rihanna?
No, like,
I'm telling
oh my
you.
God, Dom, I'm gonna break the fourth wall. Dom, bring up that candle. I literally in the corner of the space have a Rihanna candle.
Hilarious.
Like she's the patron saint.
She is literally the dopest person I think I've met in the last 10 years.
Can I be like second dopest? My God, like this.
No, I mean like we just met, so maybe after today you'll be that person. She's literally everything.
She's everything.
And what I love about her is, off camera before we started, we talked about how a lot of big celebrities aren't really dialed into black journalists once they make it to a certain level. Rihanna has intentionally, every time she's seen me, tell me how proud of me she is as a business owner, how she sees me through all the chaos online, how she loves that I share my brother's story who was murdered on Love and Hip Hop.
Right.
And then lastly said, I'm going to do your show. I said, look, you better stop fucking with me. And she said, no, I'm going to do your show because I love that you're taking a position about black journalists being respected by A-list celebrities, and I love your show. I was like, I can go home.
Me love her. She's more.
Everything and more when you meet her.
Okay,
Yeah,
so we're going to put a pin in that because I do not want to get into like the flurry of that. Jason, when I started reading this book, I was expecting to read like maybe a chapter and then be polite and then do the thing where I try to pretend like I read the whole thing.
Yeah.
Because, we do that sometimes.
Did you not think I was smart?
No, I knew you were smart. That's one thing I always knew you were. Okay. So your intelligence was never up for grabs because even the craftiest idiot could not have gotten as far as you. At some point, the jig would have been up.
Right.
So I knew for a fact that you had to be smart. But I think what scared me was how much we have in common. To the point where I felt punked within like the first 2 chapters. Like,
really?
Did I grow up with Jason and nobody told me?
What part?
Oh, there's a list. I made a list. Because it started to fuck with me.
Okay.
We swear on this show.
Oh, well, good. I swear, too.
Swearing and fucking is human. So what's the point of being humanized?
Swearing while you're fucking is human, too.
That means it's good. Okay, so, God, we're so in common. This almost feels narcissistic now.
No, I mean, I'm telling you, when I saw you on the show with Melissa, I was just like, okay, I get it. Because I think your thing and my thing brings out Melissa's thing. You know what I mean? I think that's why she and I have good chemistry. I mean, she's evolved and changed. I mean, the other day I had a call and say, like, girl, are you changing? Like, we change. People change.
People are growing up.
And she's evolved, and I'm so happy that she has her own show now. And I mean, I think she found... I was like, how did you find Blue? Because I think you're just extremely talented, and you just are... You say whatever you think. And that's important. I feel like there's a lot of that missing these days.
But I'm responsible about it too, because some people are saying what they think.
I'm not. I mean, I'm responsible to a certain
But you're
degree.
strategic, though.
I'm very strategic.
I'm going to push back on that, because sometimes when I watch you, I'm like, I know exactly what he's... Like, I literally see the wheels.
I'm very strategic.
So strategic.
Yeah.
And I've been called strategic before, but I realize strategic and manipulative are the same word.
Absolutely.
But it just depends on who likes you.
Right.
If they like you, they call you strategic. If they don't, they call you manipulative.
Right.
My ex told me that.
Wait, you think so? I think it's the other way.
No.
I think because in this city, everybody's nice, nasty. You know, like this publicist, I'm not going to say her name. She pushes her talent on me well, not talent because they don't have any, but she pushes her client on me all the time, her clients. I'm like, why would I write about these people? Why would these people be featured? These people have no talent. Oh, you're doing it because you think you have a relationship. So I didn't really write about them. I'm like, okay. And then once I slipped up and said, fuck it, I'm going to give you the look. Then I'm outside Puffy's house one day trying to get in during the Grammys. Beyonce, everybody walking. So I'm like, of course I belong in there.
Oh, yeah.
And the person was like, can't do nothing to help you. I said, okay. So that's the nice nasty I talk about. Like people, like they'll play you like you cool. I mean, I learned last year, specifically at the end of last year, I'm like, oh, I got it. People are being nice because of Hollywood Unlocked. Mm-hmm. But very few people see me. So now I'm like, yo, if you ain't even read my book, you don't even know who you talk to.
That's true, actually.
For real.
The list of things that Blue and Jason have in common. Part 1.
Okay.
At a certain point, I had to stop because I was like, this is just people. Now he's going to think I'm a liar. I didn't want to scare you. Both of our fathers were married to other women when we were born.
That's real.
That's a very specific kind of way to come into this world.
He's still married to his wife. He's been married the whole time.
I got to add a visceral reaction to that. This is going to be a triggering interview for me. Both of our mothers were told to abort us and had us anyways.
Yes.
That's a painful...
And look at the contributions we've given to this world.
Right? Like, can you imagine, like, flushing this down the toilet?
Devil try to take
all of this
away.
And then, okay, both of us had boyfriends or girlfriends at 7?
Yeah, Tamara, that was my girl. I was in love with her.
Mine was, he was Puerto Rican, didn't speak English, but he was fine.
The only white girl I ever dated.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, once I got into women, I got into black women.
Oh, I kind of like that.
Yeah.
I wonder how your critics would feel to know that you...
I've never dated a light-skinned woman. Ever. I don't even know.
Jason, I'm going to leave that alone, but I love that.
We'll save that for I'm here for the food.
Yeah, we'll save that for a whole conversation. There's going to have to be a rollout for that conversation. Mm-hmm. Teachers' pets obsessed with chocolate milk and chocolate in general.
Yes. Nestle Quick was my thing.
Me too.
Yeah.
And I would literally drink it as like self-soothing. I now know that's self-soothing. Both latchkey babies.
Yes, had that key wrapped around his neck.
Oh my God, Jason, like literally it was like a copy and paste childhood. I probably walked past you in the street.
But the reason why I wrote the book is because I felt like I had just gotten to a place in my life where now I can feel everything. I can sense everything. I can experience everything. Like I'm living in it now. I'm not outside of it anymore. And I felt like there's just so many people who relate to my story. I'm like, yo,
I love that you said that you're not outside of it anymore, because I always tell people I use sex to come back into my body. And they were like, what does that mean? And I was like, when you've been molested and you've been around trauma really early during your formative years, sometimes you don't realize it, but the adrenaline kicks in and you leave your body because you're trying to survive, right? Like all these things are happening around you, but you're not feeling them because feeling them would stop you from surviving. And then once you survived, you're like, oh, ow. That stuff actually hurts in retrospect.
Listen, I got into a fight with somebody I'm talking to yesterday. It was the dumbest thing. We unfollowed each other on Instagram. We followed each other back after we made up. But the whole fallout was over him saying, he texted me. He was having a bad day, and I kept trying to FaceTime him to see how he was doing. I'm like, can I do something? Call me or whatever. And finally, he still didn't answer me, but he texted me. And he was kind of explaining his day to me. He was around people. He didn't want to talk loud for them to hear. And he says to me, you need to improve on how you treat others outside of the people that you care about. And I lost it. But I lost it. And don't you be telling me about me. And don't you do... And I say all that to say it's one of those things where, like, when I say I feel it and all this, I'm still now coming to terms with love, like accepting people who genuinely care about me, who are giving me input or feedback for me to be a better person. And once I was able to sit with it and looking like, damn, he actually cares about me. He's actually feeling safe enough to tell me what he feels I need to improve in. So we made up, and I sent him to dinner, and I took care of everything, and we talked. Yeah.
Yo, you're so great. It's so crazy what your press is versus the person who's looking into my eyes right now. It's actually kind of stunning.
Yeah.
But you mentioned that quick flash of anger, right?
Yeah.
Now, I know for me, survival instinct, I had to like be a goon, like to be alive, right? So people, when they back in the day, they would call the police on me for cussing people out. I didn't even lay hands.
Man, as a kid?
Yeah,
Wow.
I was going to the white meat. They'd be like, eat your vegetables. I was
But
like,
is that because you had a big presence though?
no, it was because I was worried about being raped. Like I was living in the hood. We were in a bad neighborhood. My boobs came in early. That's why I had a boyfriend at
This was in Boston?
This was in Boston.
Okay.
And so, like, there were so many predators around. I was like, I'm going to make it inconvenient to rape me. I'm going to make it so inconvenient to molest me that you're going to be like, yo, her mouth's too big. Let's just leave her alone.
Wow.
And that shit worked, right? But it gave me anger problems. And I realized later that anger is a blanket emotion. So what do you think? Because there was a lot of, you whooped some ass in this book, Jason.
I had a lot of stuff.
Yeah, you were laying paws on people. Like, you were laying paws on people. What do you think all that anger was covering?
Well, I think it was more of a defensive mechanism, honestly. I feel like, as I talk about in the book, you know, when I was in foster care, I was in a group home, a ranch, a boys' ranch, all boys' ranch, in an all-white community.
Oh, my God.
I was dating a girl named Darlisha. Can't wait till I'm here for the food so we get into that. But I was living in this all-white city as a young black kid. Even though I was lighter skinned or white or looked Mexican and everybody labeled me the young light-skinned boy, the white boy, the Mexican, whatever, I looked at myself as a black person.
Yeah.
That's just how I looked at myself. Because when I went to school, they let me know every day, you a nigga.
Yeah.
Every day. And I remember I used to fight. But it wasn't until I came home and then I got reintegrated back home from foster care, got reintegrated into the community, and I was like unleashed to these animals. Like the kids who were just evil kids.
Kids are mean.
In 8th grade, I used to get bullied. But then it was like, okay, going into 9th grade, I'm like, I'm punching everybody in the face first. Like, I'm not taking no shit. And literally, I remember one day going to school, and this kid was fucking with me, and he pushed me up against the locker, and I was scared because I was like, man, I'm the only one here. I was reintegrating my community, so I had no friends.
How old were you?
I was, 14?
Oh, wow.
So my first freshman year, I'm getting bullied in the senior hallway by this bigger kid. And I said to myself, you know what? You just got to knock him the fuck out. That's it. You got to knock him the fuck out.
That's prison mentality. Like, when you're in prison, you have to beat everybody up.
Group homes are pretty much prison, too.
That's actually true.
So you're isolated, you're confined, you're raided, you're judged, you're secured. I mean, it's like the same thing. So I whooped his ass, and then after that, that was it.
See, this is interesting because those type of, like, defense mechanisms, we call them defense mechanisms, but they keep you alive. Like, nobody can judge
survival,
that.
Yeah.
If survival keeps you alive. But then I ask myself sometimes, are there any traits that I used to do to survive that now that I'm thriving don't make sense anymore?
Yeah, I'm still doing all of them.
Jason!
Well, I'm not fighting as much as I used to, but I am, I don't want to say short-tempered. I do get short-tempered. I've learned now, like, especially being a public person, you can't just fly off the handle in public.
No, you can't call somebody a stupid bitch and like then you be like, oh, I'm gonna get in trouble for that.
I say that for Love and Hip Hop. I don't do it on the streets. I've learned now how to be more responsible publicly.
Right.
And then in my private life, I've just isolated myself. Like I don't have a lot of people around me. I have my team who's with me every day. I have maybe the guy I talk to, couple really close friends. My exes are still my friends.
You're one of those.
Absolutely.
Jason.
I can't love you and just let you completely go.
I can love you from a distance.
Yeah, I can too.
I can love you from across the street. You ain't gotta be in the house.
I always say you can live in my heart, but not in my life.
See,
But
that I like.
those two that are in the book, we share very special moments. So
The second lover in the book that you built fortune. At one point, you guys were making $10,000 a day.
we're living right down the street.
I would love to. Maybe it's contagious. I would like it to come up. I would love to be in a kind of relationship where we're making $10,000 a day. That's amazing. For you, that's pennies now, I'm sure. Well, that's amazing that you were a part of a power couple like that.
No, the relationship didn't start like that. I was doing the Trayvon Martin campaign. I had moved back home to Stockton, California because while I was there visiting families, some kids got shot in the backyard. I was devastated watching the news. I started thinking about my nieces and nephews going to school. My niece was just turning 5 and getting ready to go to kindergarten. I'm like, yo, I'm about to go pull up on the mayor. I didn't even know who the mayor was. I'm about to go pull up at the mayor's office and find out what her plan is. But when I went down there and saw she had no plan, and this white woman was very disconnected from the communities that all my family lived in and where I had been shot in and my brother had died and all, I said, you know what? I'm going to move back here for 3 months. This was crazy shit. I'm going to move back here for 3 months and I'm going to get my community together. And I moved back. I moved into a hotel. I was dating this guy who had PTSD from the military at the time, which, by the way, he ain't in the book because that nigga crazy. He has the capability of coming to kill me. We don't talk
I don't want to laugh at that, but
No.
just as like I'm Vulnerable, but not stupid.
Right. Not mentioning his name. If you're watching, not even talking about you. So I'm up there doing the Trayvon Martin campaign, and this guy who I had been pursuing for almost 2 years, finally texted me and said, "Hey, I'm ready." And I'm like, "What do you mean you're ready?" Because he had never dated a man. And I'm like,
that's kind of sexy. I've seen that movie on Pornhub.
no, it gets sexier though.
I'm
Hold on.
ready?
I'm gonna tell you, Pornhub is about to come right now.
Ooh.
So the guy that I'm dating at the time is laying in the bed as I'm getting these text messages. But this is the person that when I walked into David Banner's house, I saw him across the room, and I walked right up to him and I said, "Give me your number," because I wanted him. I was just like, "I want you. I don't know what it is." He was from Houston. So
those Texas boys they're charming. I talked to Claudia. She has me convinced I need to go to Dallas to find
she
her
has a younger man now.
From Dallas,
and
though.
I'm looking at their pictures. I know they fucking.
Oh,
God bless them.
those Texas boys, from what Claudia has told me, she's converted me a little bit.
Listen, I just got back from Dallas and Houston. If I could live there and do what I'm doing, I would be there because we're thriving there, and then the guys there are beautiful. Oh. So I get this guy. So he texts me and he says, "I'm ready." I say, "Okay, you're ready. Fine. What does that mean?" He says, "I'm ready." I said, "Oh, no, you trying to play me?" I wasn't making a lot of money back then. I was making decent money, hooking people up here and there, whatever, as a consultant. But I said, "Send me a nude picture if you're serious, because you're playing." And he sent me a fully nude picture, face, body, everything is fully nude. And I go, so I called him. I said, "Hey, first of all, don't ever send your face with your..."
Yeah, that's amateur hour. You're not your face.
But he doesn't do that. So he was just trying to prove to me, with this
How'd you get him so open? What are you saying?
He was ready. No, I mean, we just, over the 2 years, we would meet up and we would talk about, he would want advice for stuff, or I would just want to see
Jason,
him.
I give a lot of advice. I'm not getting fully pictures.
But he knew that I wanted him, and he had come to an opinion that he had arrived at the place of saying, "I'm going to give you a chance." You
know what though? I see what you do, because being wanted that blatantly is a turn on. I had somebody who blatantly wanted me, and I was like, "No, you're not my type." Yeah. After 2 months, I was like, "I like how you like me." It started to be intoxicating to be wanted that directly. I blatantly
wanted that person. And then once I flew him up to meet me, and I flew the person that was with me.
He got flued out?
He was flued up. The difference.
You're a cat daddy.
He flew up, and then I flew the other person away, and then we spent 7 days together, and I was like, "Move in." That was it. And he was with it. He said, "I got to get permission from my mom," and he did. And she gave him permission, and she hit me up, and we talked, and then we moved.
You date like a lesbian. You date like a lesbian.
Really?
You fly somebody up, and next thing you know, you guys are living together. That's some lesbian behavior. And so the lesbian community, where's my cam? Dom, is my cam over here? The lesbian community, I'm telling the truth.
Well, and I always get attacked for everything, so I'm going to just say that. I think it's just a gay thing. I just think,
you're right.
The gay people could say, "That ain't us." Yeah. You're saying it right next to the nigga you just moved in. So
that's true. The gay community is very quick to find. They're very fluid.
Yeah.
What do you think is the biggest misconception about you?
Me?
Yeah.
There's so many.
Because here's the thing I like about you, and I'm the same way, so I always peep in other people. Because you're on the stage, people don't realize that you can see them in the audience. Mm-hmm. You're in on the joke.
Yeah.
You're so in on the joke.
I think one of the biggest misconceptions, first of all, I am a very aggressive business person.
Yeah.
I'm a very serious. I'm serious about my business. I'm serious about my brand. I'm very intense when it comes to strategy and creativity. I don't like mediocrity. Not in my friends. Not in people I date. Not in people that work for me or that I work with. Because I feel like it's a privilege to be able to be a black entrepreneur in this city, making the type of money that we're making, being able to provide this type of opportunity, knocking down doors every day, getting beat up and still getting up every day to go out and fight. I just feel like that deserves the same type of energy. So I feel like you got to give me what I give you. I'm never going to give you mediocrity. Never.
So you're a champion.
I'm trying to be. I mean,
no, you're not trying. You are.
Well, I'm trying to be now with health and fitness, because that's the one I have been struggling with.
We have this in common.
Well, but we're going to get it together.
Here's the thing. You're the only person that I would actually agree to do any kind of workouts with, because I'm tired of Instagram models.
Oh, it's coming.
I'm tired of Instagram models saying, "Hey, Blue, me and my six-pack want to go on run-in with you." For what? So I can hold your purse?
Right.
I get so mad.
No, or they do you like the cameraman did me coming here, walking up for 3 flights.
Yeah, so our cameraman, Chinedu, he's a strong back, beautiful Nigerian man who brought our guest up on the stairs.
He
Shouldn't
did
do
that.
it's fine.
And it's okay. I ain't gonna take the shit personal.
I do. I take that personal.
I'll get a massage later.
I would have stopped on the first floor and called me and said, "Blue."
No, because I didn't want to seem like no punk, So we sucked it in. No pun intended.
You have a fitness challenge coming up
But
here.
let me tell you, the biggest misconception I think is people take the seriousness, or like Charlamagne always says, like, "Yo, you always so serious," and I'm like, "Yo, I am a survivor." You have to first understand that, like, I take this life and everything in it so serious because there were so many times it was almost taken from me.
It was life and death.
And so I learned when I first got here to LA, I spent a lot of time trying to get to know everybody, hanging out on all the scenes. This was the paparazzi. This was when Paris Hilton was a socialite. So this was when
that was the heyday of blogging.
That was when it was like time to be on the scene.
Yeah.
I wasn't even doing media at the time, but I felt like I had spent so much time trying to figure this shit out and not really giving the respect of what I was putting in, the work I was putting in. I was like, you know what? I'm now learning the value of time, and I'm not wasting my time with nobody. And people, I think, take that sometimes as, he lives without feeling. I think they definitely think I'm messy, and I've given them that. I've strategically given them.
You had a website called Low Key Messy.
Don't even go there with me. Because I was low key with it though.
Right. You see, I read the book. He's like, that's like chapter 12.
Low key with it.
I read
the
book.
concept was the shade room at the time. I didn't really know how to manifest it into that. Because being messy was really scary at the time because I was in the industry, around with everybody.
So Low Key Messy is no longer, if I log in right now,
that thing is
it won't pop up. It'll be a GoDaddy page.
I don't know what it'll be, but it ain't going to be that.
Look, you know what? One of the things I love about you, and this is so crazy, you have a reaction when I mention like tarot cards, right?
It's witchcraft.
But you're a bit of a witch, honey.
No way.
And I'm here to break it
How?
to you. No, you're a bit of a witch. You're a manifester.
I'm a manifester.
Witchcraft is nothing but manifestation. That's all it is.
I don't think so.
Oh, well, my kind. There's other kinds, okay? I was
like Azalea Banks, she playing with fucking chicken bones.
Look, I don't judge nobody because I don't want chicken bones in my name, so I'm not judging you guys.
You ain't never judged her edges?
Because
I'm looking at your edges, and I know you've looked at them and be like, girl.
Low key messy.
You need them chicken bones for them edges.
Well, here's the thing. I try to not say something about someone that doesn't elevate the conversation.
You're so much better than I.
So if no, I'm just.
I'll meet you at the ground. I'll get on the ground.
No, I used to. Well, here's the thing. I have a thing where I will keep on being compassionate until you attack my loved ones.
Okay.
So you will never get to me. You could call me a super fat bitch till you're blue in the face.
Yeah.
I feel nothing.
Okay.
You even cough in the direction of somebody I love. Now all the therapy has to actively come out to keep
I'm working on me because my brother Rodney, who's in the book, who died, who I dedicate the book to. He is my trigger.
Exactly.
No, like, you come from my dad, I'd be like, he ain't shit. You can come from a lot of motherfuckers in my family. They ain't
Damn,
shit.
Jason.
But like, my brother's the trigger.
Exactly.
Yesterday, Bad Baby's mama posted my brother's cemetery block on her Instagram and said, because I did an episode of Problematic on her daughter, and says, oh, it looks like your life was problematic too, clown. And I honestly didn't even have a reaction to it. I was proud of myself.
I would have DM'd her all nasty things.
No.
On your behalf.
Yeah.
Under and fist that crap.
But I knew that's what she wanted, and it kills people who are being mean intentionally when you're nice to them.
I know, but that's just so ugly, Jason.
I know.
Okay, but back to you being a witch.
Yes.
You are a manifester.
Yes.
And whether you want to call yourself a witch or not, you're a master manifester. Because you were a kid and you manifested Michael Jackson.
Absolutely.
That is, for those who haven't read the book, I don't want to ruin it.
Yeah, you can tell them.
But Jason focused on Michael Jackson.
Yeah. And
until Michael Jackson appeared, you were not touched for anybody who's trying to be messy.
No, I was not.
But you literally got Michael Jackson to call your phone.
Absolutely.
And that is amazing. And then you manifested two other relationships in the book that I know everybody's going to skip to those chapters and be lazy. I actually read it.
I know one.
Queen Latifah.
I was just with her.
Let me tell you something. As a cute chubby girl, a cute chubby black girl, she was like my Lord and Savior back in the day. Because I was like, yo, she a little thick and she pretty and y'all giving her money. Like, I was obsessed with... I used to call her Dana in my head like we were friends.
That's what I call her.
Yeah, the fact that you manifested that.
She's very underappreciated, I think.
By who? Because we love her.
I don't think people really understand what she's done for black women. Yep. For hip-hop.
Who you calling a bitch?
Yeah, for hip-hop. I mean, I was watching Living Single marathon today.
You mean Friends? Sorry.
Well, that part. Don't even get me started. They've been raping us for years.
For years.
We're not gonna go there.
So you had the same reaction I did.
No,
it bothers me.
Yeah, it is. And those people were like, most of them were like the nicest people on the show. I think the thing with Dana, because I recently saw her at the All-Star game. I went with Tiffany, and I'm gonna tell you, I manifested that one too. I went to go watch Girls Trip. The Lord, God didn't forget about me when you read the book. But I went to go watch Girls Trip Because I want to support Dana.
Right.
Anything she puts out, if she's walking the dog, I'm gonna go watch it because it's Dana. But I saw Tiffany Haddish, and I was like, that bitch right there is me. I need to, not that bitch is in that she's a woman, a bitch. I'm gay.
Right.
We use the word loosely. I know I get attacked for that, but whatever. I said, that one right there, I need to know her. Then I made my whole team come and watch Girl Trip. I'm like, watch this girl right here. She's so funny. We watched it 4 times. And then now have becoming really close friends with
Yeah, I
her.
just saw her on your Instagram like recently.
But very close friends. But very few people do I consider like real friends. I got the term down now. LA friends is not loose anymore.
It's in air quotes.
I used to use it all the time. But just she emulates the same persona that Dana does. Like they're very caring. They're very caring.
I believe that.
They're very nurturing. They're very loyal and helpful and resourceful. And you know, I find Tiffany to be very inspiring. To come from South Central to make it.
Oh, yeah.
You know, she's criticized a lot. I know.
I actually wrote an article defending her.
Yeah.
It got me so mad. It was an article. It was called Why Cardi B and Tiffany Haddish Deserve a Seat at the Table. Because I was getting mad having all the bougie blacks. The bougie blacks and I be having beef because they think I'm one of them because the way I talk until they start saying shit and then they realize I'm mad. I think that Cardi and Tiffany deserve a seat at the table, and people who think that because of diction or the way that they carry themselves in a certain way that's not respectability politics, they can kiss my ass.
Now let me tell you where the witchcraft.
I get so mad.
Let me tell you where the witchcraft comes in. So I launched an award show last year. The award show, my topic was build your own table. Cardi and Tiffany, both in the book, both close friends of mine, both very similar. Dana, all of them have something very special. And no matter how high they've reached or successful they've come, or no matter the accolades or what people say about them and how they are revered by white people, when it comes to knowing them personally, they really care about the experience they're having with the individual that they're dealing with and issues affecting them. I'll give you an example. Gabriel Fernandez. I watched this documentary, and I mean, devastated is not even the word.
It's heartbreaking.
Sitting in my apartment, in my robe, like a white woman. Don't even attack me, because it just...
like Joanne the Scammer.
Yeah,
Holding your robe. Like,
Joanne the Scammer. I'm sitting there.
In your Caucasian home.
In my Caucasian home. And I'm crying, just crying for hours, because Gabriel is me. Like, we're, in many ways, the latchkey kids are Gabriel. We just were lucky to make it out. And I text Cardi, and I'm like, yo, have you seen this documentary? And she's like, no. And then she watched it, and now she's been responding to it publicly.
As a mother, can you imagine watching that as a mother?
As a mother, as a person of color, as a person whose odds have been counted against you. And I mean, I think that's the other thing I think people don't see is they don't see the vulnerable side of me that has actual feelings and compassion for people who've been through some of the stuff we've been through. You
know what's so funny? Your heart always comes out when it comes to kids.
Because
whenever it comes to kids, I'm like, there he is.
But it's hard to explain because, like, this weekend we dedicated our national show to Gabriel because I feel like he was the invisible kid. And I remember being the latchkey kid walking up and down the block. And I know people saw me, but they act like they didn't see me. You see a 7-year-old kid running the streets at 10 o'clock at night. I felt invisible for many years. And I know in watching Gabriel's thing, I'm like, all the people, all the signs, nobody saw him. And so... you know, I had agents and attorneys and everybody saying, oh, don't put out your book now. Wait till you have your talk show. Wait till you have this. Wait till you have... I'm like, you know what? Nah, because there are Jasons out there that believe God forgot about them. I know Gabriel had to. And then the biggest lesson in watching the documentary was, unlike me, because I don't see that he got as stoned-faced to people who hurt him, he still loved those people. Like, he died with a letter on his desk telling his mother how much he loved her, and went home, and her boyfriend killed him. I don't know. It was just the craziest thing, and that's why I believe, like, now the book is important right now. Because there's still kids out there that are going through the same stuff I went through.
And it's great. Like, when I read about your relationship with your mother, I'm not going to cry, but, like, it broke my heart. It was late, and it broke my heart because the way that you felt about your mom is the way that I felt about my dad. And there was one part where you kept asking yourself, like, why doesn't she want me? And, like, that hit me because... up until I was like 26, I was like, why didn't my dad want me? Do you still find yourself asking that question, or have you found an answer?
When it comes to my mom, I mean, she's been gone for, I think, 6 years now. She's been gone for a while. Do I find myself asking that question?
Or have you made peace with that?
I made peace with that relationship. Because when she was dying, as I talk about in the book, I got home from visiting her in the hospital. And home is like 6 hours, 5.5, 6 hours away. I got back to LA. I get a call from my cousin Anitra, who happens to be the nurse director of the hospital that my mom is in. And she says, "Where are you?" She thought I had just left the hospital that day. I said, "No, I'm home." Mm-hmm. She says, "You have to come back to Stockton." I'm like, "I can't. I just left." She's like, "Well, your mother's not doing well. Like, something happened, and she's in a coma now." I'm like, "I was just there." So she said to me, "Yeah, you have to come back now." And I go, "Well, can you tell me how bad it is?" She says, "Let me go pull her chart. I'll read it, and I'll call you back." She pulled her chart, and she called me. She said, "If you can make it back before she passes, you'd be lucky."
Right.
So I get on a plane. I call my sister who was fighting with my mom at the time. I call my brother who I had raised for 10 years. This was his mom, different dad, never experienced death. I'm like, the two of you need to meet me at the hospital. We get to the hospital. My mom is like out. And then for whatever reason, after about an hour, she comes to. And literally, this is why it's kind of scary because, I wrote the book called God Must Have Forgotten About Me, but you realize
God
after you look back,
has been looking out for you the whole
He holding your hand the whole
time.
She comes to and she's there, and now mind you, if I can describe how I feel inside, I'm angry at my mom for all the stuff she's done. I've been nice to her and somewhat very respectful because I knew she was towards the end. So I wanted her to have peace. Because she was bipolar, so she would switch in and out of her craziness at any moment. And so she comes to, my sister and her had been fighting. My brother, he's crying uncontrollably. And he was a crack baby because she had done crack while she was pregnant with him. So she said to me, "I need to know." She said, "I'm probably going to die." I was like, okay, that was heavy. Because when the people create you are telling you they're getting ready to leave,
it makes you like your mortality is now sucked into a vacuum. Like, wait, what happened?
It's like it makes you real too.
Yeah.
It makes your whole thing
like your
real.
body becomes real to you.
She said to me, I think I'm gonna die, and I just want to know before I die that you forgave me, because I did the best that I could." And I said, "No, I forgive you. I forgive you. I understand. You did the best that you could. We're good. We're good." And then my sister started getting emotional, so I left them in the room to have their peace, and they made up. And then my brother was just sitting in a corner. He couldn't even control himself. He was just crying nonstop. And so I realized, okay, I'm the big brother in here. I have to make sure he's good. I got to make sure she's good, And so she died the next day. And so then I had to do the whole funeral and all this and that. But, I found closure in it because I realized that when I said I forgave her and I really felt I did, I felt a sense of relief.
Right.
Because I've been carrying around all this baggage for years. And I even think with my weight gain, that was baggage from all of what I went through with Rodney and the drinking and staying self-medicated, But yeah, no, I definitely let that relationship go. My dad, on the other hand, we are... This last year I went back to Love and Hip Hop after I had left.
I was surprised to see you back.
Why?
Because the funny thing is, when I first saw you in Love and Hip Hop, I was like, "Who's this messy man just flinging drinks at me?" I was like, "What's happening? Why's everybody wet?" Like, I was so confused.
Why is everybody wet?
I was
Hilarious.
so confused.
I threw one drink, and I talk about it in the
But
book
it was the drink that was heard around the world.
Yeah.
So I was just like, okay, that's a lot of fever. And so, and then I started learning about Hollywood Unlocked, and I was like, oh, you know what the funny thing is? Whenever I have a friend who's not tapped into the media stuff, because I have some friends who don't know anything about media.
Yeah.
They might as well be Black Amish.
Yeah.
And one of them was like, I was like, oh, I'm really excited. I'm going to finally get to meet Jason Lee. Like, I've wanted something about him. I want to meet him. And she was like, who's Jason Lee? And the first thing that came out of my mouth was, he's like the next Wendy Williams. Like, he's like her heir apparent. Until I had said it, I didn't realize that's how I was thinking of you.
Yeah.
Because I remember being a Wendy fan back in the day.
Yeah.
And I'm having deja vu watching your come up now.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
Like, I feel like you're going to be her
And I
her
feel
heir.
like that's an honor because I love Wendy.
I love Wendy. I know I'm not supposed to. I'm an emotional intelligence coach who likes Wendy Williams. People think that's problematic.
Yeah.
By the way, you're sure problematic.
Yeah.
Love it because I'm convinced we're all problematic to varying degrees.
Are.
We're all problematic.
I almost want to do a problematic on myself.
Oh.
No, I know. They keep telling me, you're next.
Woo.
You're next. I'm like, no.
Jason Lee's problematic by Jason Lee.
No, but, I went back to Love and Hip Hop because when I did
Yeah, please explain why.
When I threw the drink.
A full drink.
We can go there. When I threw the drink, what I was doing was reacting out of fear.
Yeah.
I wasn't doing it for any other reason other than, oh my God, she's getting ready to say I'm gay. Now, I was out, but I didn't want the world's introduction to me to be about me being gay, because gay in the industry means, hat with a veil, long cape and makeup and girl and all that and high heels and makeup, and that's just not who I am.
Yeah.
I didn't want. I wanted the world to know Hollywood Unlocked. Your business is my business. You guys, you spilling tea, I'm there to clean that shit up or make it a little messy. But like for me, it was all about my business. But it wasn't even just to say that I was gay, because contractually, that's what I told the network. I don't want to talk about being gay. I didn't film with Milan and Miles. You never saw me in a scene with them. Because I didn't want to. That's not what I wanted to
be.
And
they were gay. No tea.
Love them.
No shade, actually.
They was in the bed naked.
Yeah, like literally, Pornhub page 57.
And they were creating a different visual for what we never saw on TV before.
Yeah.
So they did their thing, but I didn't want to be a part of that.
Okay.
And then I was dating somebody I won't say dating. We were messing around. With
Situationship.
I had a situation with somebody who was not out. And then that person's name got thrown into the conversation. And it was my first scene. And so, of course, I was just like, yo, like, I didn't know how to handle it. And all the fear and it just came up. It was more fear than anger. I think people thought it was anger. It was more fear than anger.
That actually makes sense.
Fear of having to explain to him how he got thrown into it, not knowing they could edit his name out. Mm-hmm. Fear in the fact that I had never sat down with my family and said the words "I'm gay." Not that they knew, because your family knows, but I never said it. I didn't want them to see it on TV. I wanted to be able to,
I'm gay.
Because the coming out experience is...
It's very, and you are actually, no matter how messy somebody might assume that you are, you're also very good about how you feel about people being outed.
Yeah, I don't like that.
You have a lot of integrity around that. And a lot of, even gay men who are in the industry are still messy about that sometimes. Yeah. And you're not a hypocrite when it comes to that.
Yeah, but this is why the internet drives me crazy. I love it because it's my playground, but what drives me crazy is there was a story that come out that I outed Rashida's 15-year-old son. Because somebody was trying to, I think, extort her or something and calling her, leaving her a voicemail on her thing, but filmed them doing the voicemail and said, Jason Lee's trying to sell a story about your son being gay. I didn't even know she had a 15-year-old son because I wasn't dialed into Rashida at the time.
Right.
And I would never out nobody because that's one of the things, the cardinal rules of Hollywood Unlocked that we don't do. But it's one of those things where, like, back in my experience, I felt like, yo, this is getting real. And I didn't know how to handle it. So I handled it the wrong way. Yeah. And I was vilified for a long time. Like, that was literally, and still to this day, some people, that's what they say, oh, that's the guy who threw the drink. You know, and so I made a point to make my amends with Hazel privately. I tried to mend it with the person that was the party that was involved, and that didn't happen. And I just said, fuck it, I'm gonna take it on the chin and keep moving. But to the point of why I went back to Love and Hip Hop, and that's why I left, because it became a thing where I was trying to get Hollywood Unlocked on, but I was doing it in other people's shit that I didn't control.
Exactly.
And I learned really quick, okay, now I got to launch a podcast so that way I can control what the fuck I do and say.
You own the narrative now, and people can't have you throwing drink. Yeah.
So I got it. I launched the podcast. I asked Melissa Ford to join. She joined.
This was genius, by the way.
She's hip hop. She's legendary.
You and Jessica Rabbit, like, come on, like that's a
Beauty
visually.
And the Beast. Yeah.
Oh my God, it really is Beauty and the Beast.
It was, yeah. And so I launched it, but then when Love and Hip Hop didn't fit anymore, when Nick Cannon had come on the show, I said, yo, man, I want to go on Wildin' Out. I know you need to give me a job. And he brought me on Wildin' Out, and I manifested that. I manifested that, but he brought me on Wildin' Out, and I felt like people were able to see the comedic side.
I was shocked with the first time you ever made me laugh.
Really?
There was a viral clip of you on Wildin' Out.
Kissing Bobby Lights?
Yeah, and it was a sincere chuckle. I was having like a bad day, and it was the first time I heard myself laugh that week.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I'm laughing. Is that gas? And then it was like, oh, he's funny.
But that goes back to the strategic part. Bobby's on Love and Hip Hop. I was on Love and Hip Hop. So Love and Hip Hop blogs are going to talk about it. There's never been two men kiss on Wildin' Out. We on Wildin' Out.
That moment, though, Jason, you went for it.
We won a VMA for it and everything. But it was
you deserve that.
Yeah.
You deserve. You mentioned something that I actually want to circle back to.
Wait, can I say something real quick?
Yo, go for it.
So after having the success on Wildin' Out, my fourth season, I went back to Wildin' Out to Love and Hip Hop.
Now, what season is this? You said your fourth?
This is my fifth coming up, and my fourth.
So that's a flex, what we call on this show. That's a light flex.
Know, I have one more season.
Me and Nick, our show.
Yeah.
Nick,
I'll let you have it, Nick. I'll let you have it.
We love light flexes on this show. We want people to show off.
But I went back to tell my story about my dad, because I thought, now that I'm a public person, after having thrown the drink and met these kids who told me they were gay, and that their parents tried to beat the gay out of them, and that they tried to kill themselves. And when I think about Gabriel Fernandez, whose stepdad, whose mother's boyfriend, was beating him and saying you're gay while he was killing him, I understood immediately how powerful TV is, how powerful a public platform in TV is, how responsible I have to be now. So when I do Trump jokes on Wild 'N Out, or when I rep my dead brother in my hometown on my back, or whether I'm doing something gay as the gay wrestler and breaking down a barrier for people who don't see themselves on TV, everything has been strategic. So going back to Love and Hip Hop was like, I'm going to use this to tell my brother's story.
Yeah, I was shocked how you came back totally different. It was like night and day. I'm like,
that was because I had built ownership.
That's smart.
Built my brand to a point where I was sitting at the table with all the people and said, for me to come back, here are the conditions.
I saw your family. You had feelings. I think there was an episode where a single tear escaped the corner of my eye. I was like, this is not the same mother sucker who I just saw a couple seasons ago.
Well, you should have been at the reunion when I had glasses on. But when I cried, the whole cast was like, because
it's like watching a tree cry. Like, wait, you can cry? Like, how do trees cry?
No, it was like people were, and I shout out to Ray J, shout out to April Jones, shout out to Monique, shout out to the whole cast. Really embraced me, and I felt that they embraced me because when I go on the show, they never know where I'm gonna go because I'll be ready to go.
Something we have in common is we're both unpredictable.
Yeah,
sometimes I find out when they find
fun,
out.
Though.
It is.
Sometimes I find out when they find out.
I'm like, oh, that's what I did bad.
Yeah.
I like that about you though. I think unpredictable people. A little bit of mischief keeps you young.
Spontaneity is great. Like
it's good for your skin. I look younger because I'm mischievous.
Listen, I'm 42. I'm trying.
Another light flex.
I mean,
you want to do an old lake commercial?
As the
light is literally cascading from the palm trees.
I smell so good today. It's so disrespectful.
You do,
but not as good as Rihanna. Just so you know.
Do not. You literally see my Rihanna candle and you keep throwing her in my face.
She smells as godly as she looks on that candle.
Oh God, okay. I can't get back to Rihanna because it's gonna frazzle my brain. No, the thing that I told you before we started, because we started this interview like 20 minutes before production even had us up. But like,
I needed 20 minutes to catch my breath after the African made me walk up the fucking stairs.
Shouldn't do is like Kanye shrugging on the side. Yeah, We're gonna talk about this after the production
Kanye
meeting.
Shrugging, so you can see the bicep.
The gun show.
Yeah,
I wish we could pan the camera to him.
I'm not dealing with him.
It's so crazy because, like, I told you, there was someone that I pride myself on not prejudging people.
Okay.
And, like...
But everybody prejudges me.
That's why I pride myself. Because I was like, I had literally, like, when I saw you, it was like, oh, hey, I'm so happy to meet you.
There's going to be people mad at you right now for not dragging me. People expect me to be drugged. I'm like, why? I don't even do interviews, but when
can I just tell you? I've learned that people think I'm an assassin. I'm actually not. The truth is your assassin.
Right.
I just drive the Uber in the truth. So I don't ever drag anybody. Now, if the truth drags you, I just happen to be the one who brought it over. You know what I mean? And so I pride myself on not prejudging people. I didn't prejudge you. One person I didn't realize I had subconsciously prejudged until I read your book.
Floyd Mayweather.
Jason.
Yeah. Everybody does.
I had to have a moment with myself. Like, bitch, you judged Mayweather. Like, the person you described in the book, I was like, I Googled, is there another Floyd Mayweather? I was like, what do you mean?
But
I would have never thought he was this person.
Listen, who you think taught me? My whole brand strategy was taught to me by that man. When I first started Hollywood Unlocked and I was in the show and I was, can't do that because of this, can't do that. He said, let me tell you something. You're the Floyd Mayweather media. Stop fucking talking about what you can't do. I said, well, but he said, come and do this interview real quick with Showtime. Let me tell him you're the #1 blogger. I go, I'm not the #1 blogger. Perez Hilton started this shit. This person has more followers. This person has been online for 5 years. He said, let me tell you something. Being #1 is a mentality, not a fact.
He's a witch too. You see that? Y'all sitting up here manifesting.
I was like, I gagged. Gagging. Did you see the video on the train? Sweaters available at HollywoodUnlocked.com. But when he said this to me, I didn't have, even though I was a confident person, I was making all this money. I looked at my nigga was sitting there. I looked at him and I'm like, he just called me the Floyd Mayweather media. I wasn't even a huge Floyd fan at the time and didn't even really know nothing about him other than he was cocky, arrogant, all the things people know about him.
Right.
But sitting there with him for 2 hours the day I met him, the day before I was going to give up, with him pulling out a $42 million check and saying, you can get that. It's all attainable, but you got to own your shit, stay in control of your shit. You got to be fearless. You got to be a savage. The bad guy always wins. So if you feel like you start getting these feelings about being the good guy, you're losing. And it was hard for me to make the transition.
Right.
I told Carucci one time at the nail shop, I ran to the nail shop, you know, when people see me, they be kind of looking. But I've known Carucci way back in the day. I said, you single-handedly helped me transform how I do my business. And she said, how? I said, because after hooking you up with Chris Brown, I thought you would have been on my podcast by now. But you're afraid of me because of Hollywood Unlocked. But you showed me that it's not personal and that it ain't a friendship thing. It's a business, relationship, transactional
It forced
thing.
You to like separate the two.
That literally that day. And then I said, and went back to the whole savage thing. And Floyd really had instilled that in me. But I wrote this book, and I didn't tell him I was writing him a chapter. So so I sent him the book that he read.
Oh.
By the way, let's be clear. I mean,
our production is laughing right now. We all know why.
You can't make $1 billion not being able to read.
I had questions.
He can read. So the man, I mean, the Emmy Award winning producer, boxer, greatest of all time, he can read.
You made me like him so much more than I wanted to.
So I sent him the book. I sent him a copy. I sent his daughter a copy, and I sent his assistant who had introduced me to him a copy. And I'm sleeping one day, and then like 4 o'clock in the morning, the phone's ringing because he's a night owl. He stays up late. He calls. He has a room full of people, and he has tears in his eyes. And he said, "I really appreciate how you memorialize me." Mm-hmm. And he goes, I know they're gonna kill me for me saying the F word. Because when we first met, he was loose with the fag word, and I was real loose with the nigga word. And he said to me. And I said to him, "Stop saying faggot because even though you don't mean it the way you're saying it, the way that you're not saying it the way that people are gonna think you mean it. It's gonna make you look really stupid." And he said, "Well, when you say nigga, you sound stupid too because I don't use that word. I think there are a lot of our people who've been hurt by that word."
Floyd Mayweather said this.
Standing in the driveway at Dre's nightclub in Vegas. So listen, I stopped using the nigger word around here, and I still use it, and I want to do better. But it's just I come from where I come from, and that's just what we did. And I'm not proud of using that word, but he's never used the F word again. But he's had tears in his eyes. He said, I know they're going to kill me for saying that, but he said, you wrote that shit so honest. And he said, and I just appreciate how you honor me. And he said, you continue to amaze me. And I get criticized for talking about Floyd and Cardi and Tiffany a lot. Those are really my only 3 friends I talk to every day. I don't really talk to nobody else.
Did you really care about them?
I literally, genuinely care about them as people, not as entertainers. Me and Cardi B ain't on the phone talking about another song.
Press. You're not talking about that.
Well, I did text her last week and say, "Girl, what the album at?" But like, we don't text about. We talk about like life, ambition, love.
Her emotional intelligence.
Smart.
When I argue with people, because let me tell you something, I've gotten dragged for defending Cardi B because I'm supposed to be seen as like this Fraser Crane wannabe like Obama-like black person, and I'm like, no, I think Cardi B has more emotional intelligence than a lot of people I know in academia, and I don't think she gets enough credit for her emotional intelligence.
People don't realize she will call me and say, "You went too far. You went too far."
Oh wow!
I'll tell you something I never tell nobody. I did my show one day and I had made a really bad Ariana Grande joke. It was really bad. Because at times I don't even think of the gravity of my platform. I'm Jason. Like, we just sitting here talking right now. I'm not thinking about how people are responding to
You're
what
the
I'm
heir to
saying.
Wendy Williams, but okay, I need you to own that more.
I love her to death.
And as a witch speaking that into your existence, when that happens, I just want to like a bouquet.
I got you. So I manifested that one too. I've been on her show 4
You're
times.
a manifester, Jason. That's all you do is witchcraft. So the irony that you're scared of it.
Pray to God.
You're a holy witch.
But I do this thing on Ariana Grande, and the most inappropriate joke, and I don't think about it because the show moves fast, and I got things to do, and I throw it out. And everybody's calling me saying, "Yo, that shit's everywhere. Like, I can't believe you said that. Yo. Some people are saying it was great. You're viral, blah, blah." Cardi called and she said, "You went too far." She was like, "You went too far." And, she was like, you should apologize. You went too far. Oh my Every gosh. Other person who called me said, "Do not apologize." Cardi said, "You need to apologize." And I apologized. Because I respect her opinion. She would not call me to say that. She had no stake in the game. She had no benefit. So people don't understand behind the scenes. They think, oh, he's just friends with her because she Cardi B. Or she just friends with him because, he's going to attack Nicki for her. We don't even talk about those kind of things. We talk about real life shit, kids, family, success, ambition, life. And that's why I cherish the relationship. But to Floyd's credit, I wouldn't be here, Floyd. I would not be here right now if Floyd wouldn't have said to me the day before I was going to quit, "You can do it. You can do it. You can be everything you want to be, but you gotta lock in."
That line he said to you that got to me was, he said, "Tell me about yourself." And you said, "I'm a blogger and I'm gay."
Yeah.
Do you know how many people who, no offense, no tea, I'm not going to be messy, but we know there are plenty of people who are known as pro-black and amazing and stand-up citizens and whatever in the industry who you would have said that to, who would have put you out their house.
Absolutely.
And the fact that he actually leaned in to learn more about you after that being your opening sentence, That's when I literally gasped. Like, you said that to Floyd Mayweather and he was still in his house?
Well, this is how I knew me and him we're the same person except for two factors. I'm gay, he's ultra straight. I ain't wealthy, and he's beyond wealthy.
He sleeps with a money pillow, so yes.
I've literally seen him fall asleep in the bed with $1 million in his lap.
Oh my God.
But it was just kind of sitting there, you know? I mean, like, you know, you might have your Pikachu sitting there, and he just has $1 million.
What?
It was
I want these problems.
He calls it loose change. But listen,
Oh
you know,
my God.
we all have our loose change. The first time I realized that he doesn't keep 20s, 5s, 10s, or 1s around because it's just loose change. He says it's much easier to pay things with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now the man can count, so don't start no rumors. But it's just easier to count $100. But he tips all valet $100. Anybody that touches any of his food, $100. Anybody that touches any of his cars or anything, any service people, they each get $100. I've seen him tip somebody $3,000 in the club handling our bottles, and he doesn't even drink. But he doesn't want people to like him like that.
But he's likable now.
But
you made him likable.
But that's part of where he's probably frustrated with the book because I wanted people to see that he's a real person, a genuine person, and you know the whole can't read thing. He's never going to come out and defend that, but you know
it's a strong rumor.
But it was our people that threw it on him, and that goes back to it was. Well, it was. Well, I don't want to
because for the R. Kelly thing, I heard it's real. So that's interesting. Yeah. That doesn't make a lot of sense because he's so successful. I used to be like, how is this rumor true? Now, one of the things I'm realizing is that you're the kind of person who I could sit down for lunch and then like, why is the sun gone? You're very, and I wish.
Especially if cocktails are involved.
Oh gosh, I can't drink until after the race.
What race?
I'm running a half marathon in Hawaii in September.
Oh my God.
So I've given up alcohol until September.
Well, I'm getting ready to start a whole fitness thing that I'm not
even
going to leave the house.
Can you please hit me up when you're doing fitness stuff?
No, we are. We're going to do a whole...
Because I need someone who at least looks like that I won't be embarrassed by.
I need somebody I can take a break with. Coming up these stairs.
No, you and I had the same reaction to those stairs. That's when I knew we were kindred. When you walked up, I was like, oh, snap, I could tell from his eyes. He took the stairs.
Listen, I don't know what my team was saying to me in the background, but I couldn't answer.
Help me.
I had to catch my breath.
Okay, I want people to read this book. Yes. Like, I want people to read this book because... You're a perfect example of what I always preach. Like, do not judge because everybody has a story. And once you read your story, it's hard to other you. Like, there's so many things that it's hard to put on you and make you into this big bag monster when you realize that where you come from. You're like, oh, that boy working through some trauma. Leave him alone. Like, it suddenly becomes hard to see you as the big bad wolf. So this is really dangerous, but you're going on tour with this.
Yeah, I've been doing a tour. I went to New York. I went to... where I go? I went to New York, Dallas, Houston, New Orleans.
Remy did something with you. I saw a video.
Yeah, I asked Remy to host because I had interviewed, again, everything that I do is either strategic or just organic. I had interviewed Remy Ma. I made it a point, once our show got picked up by iHeart, to go after every female in hip-hop so that way I can just get down to the one that won't come on my show. And so I've had Cash Doll, Saweetie, we had Trina, we had Lil' Kim. By the way. I mean, you know, you want to stand in the class of your own, there you go.
You're playing chess.
And, you know, this. And so and so, wait, what were we talking about? Oh, Remy. So once I interviewed Remy, I was like, damn, me and your son are the same person. I lived without my mom because she was addicted to drugs. He lived without his mom because you were in prison.
How did she receive that?
No, that was in my mind.
Oh, okay. I'm like, that's a poignant observation.
I did say to her on the side, after I interviewed, I said, Remy, you have to do a book called Parenting from Prison.
Oh, wow.
Because I never thought about parents parenting their kids from prison.
Right.
And her son's name is Jason. I was like, yo, we got to...
Okay, that's just freaky.
I was like, yo, we got to do this. And so I called her, and she was like... And I didn't even call her. I texted her, like, Remy, can you please do this for me? And she was like, yeah, I'm in. You owe me a favor. I
love watching her interview. She was like, so I read your book, and it's amazing. And I was just like, oh my goodness.
She was like...
I loved it so much.
And I was giving her compliments and telling her, like, I'm honored. Because I was honored. Remy Ma's interviewing me.
Yeah.
Like, people don't understand, like, I am a fan of the culture. I'm a fan of hip-hop. I'm a fan of pop culture. I grew up with these people on my walls. Not Remy, but just because she was not that old.
Right.
Like Queen Latifah's. And when Word Up Magazine was out, I cut that shit and put that shit on my wall. I love... watching Biggie perform in front of 30,000 people.
You're so much more pro-black than people give you credit for.
But you know what? I felt like I don't need to be out there just screaming black pride to be black. I mean, I feel like now because of social media, you know, you have to be what people expect that to look like. I mean, what's his name? Sean King? Didn't he throw Kobe under the bus on his Facebook? I'm just saying.
Shark King is a very complicated figure.
This is one of the pro-black heroes that everybody follows because he has an Instagram that puts up a lot of injustice.
Right.
Well, guess what? That doesn't make you just pro-black.
Yeah.
What rooms are you in? I'm not saying Sean King. I'm just saying I'm in a lot of rooms privately advocating for black journalists. I'm in rooms privately saying to friends, help me raise $1 million to launch a foundation that can build leadership throughout our state for people who look like us.
Right.
You know, but if I go defend it, it doesn't do anything but continue the conversation of ignorance where everybody online is an armchair quarterback with an opinion. So I just let them think whatever they want because the more they talk about me, the more I win.
No, you get a check every time they talk about you. So I
Absolutely.
get why you don't want to shut them up.
Click.
Who wants to not get a check?
Click.
Now this is crazy because it's already been the hour and
we keep talking.
We just
You
started.
edit it down whatever you want.
Look, you think I'm gonna edit out any of this?
Okay,
Especially the part where Rihanna, our queen, her book is right there in the corner.
If she watches it, she should call us.
Oh my
I'm telling you right
gosh.
now, if you hang with Rihanna one time, you never like. This is sad.
I just wanna hug her.
I'm gonna share this. I called her assistant yesterday. She didn't answer. I was walking down the street from the gym 2 days ago and saw her hairstylist. I'm like, who in the nail shop with you? I'm obsessed with her now.
You know what? I think you and I are obsessed with her for the same reason. Real recognizes real.
Yeah.
And there's something giddy when one of us, because Rihanna's a real ass bitch. Okay?
That's an understatement.
You could quote act up, like real ass bitch give a fuck. Like she's real as fuck. And that's why I love her.
My friend grabbed her hand and proceeds to kiss her hand and I slapped him. I slapped his hand. I was like, don't fucking touch her. She was like, what's wrong? No, he's not allowed to touch you. So later on in the night, you know, I get a little cocktail in me and I look up and he's sitting next to Rihanna. He done plotted with her to where she said he could touch her. Now he's sitting next to her going like this.
Oh, that's
I was
hilarious.
like, okay, but how you gonna get back to the hotel?
No, she's one of us.
She's everything.
Like usually when you like somebody, they're aspirational in a way like, oh, one day I want to be like that. No, with her, I'm like, one of us made it.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
That means I have a goddamn chance. So like, I want to do like a bit of a rapid fire with you.
Sure.
Because you're so strategic. I figure if I go fast, I'm gonna get your like.
brain works pretty fast.
Yeah, no, I've noticed.
Go ahead though.
Oh, Jason, like we have to be friends in real life.
Yeah,
I never
sure.
say that because I'm gonna be honest. Everybody who meets me like thinks I'm warm, and they're like, "Oh, we have to be friends," and I'll be polite, like, "Oh," and then I don't. But like, I sincerely like you, and it scares me.
Listen, I know. I saw, you know, the first show you guys did where I was a topic on your podcast.
I literally wanted to bring you up as like, I was like, Jason's like a cousin of our show.
Yeah, and I called Melissa and I said, "Don't be talking about me on your podcast. Talk to me. I will come on." You know, so like I've been looking forward to us meeting and talking because I feel like there are more of us that have like you have a great personality. You're smart. I'm surprised you like me, but that's cool. I like when people like me.
No, the funny thing is, we're all crazy in some way.
Yeah.
You're the kind of crazy that actually tickles me.
Why?
You know why? Because I know a lot of men who have like big presence, and they seem like larger than life, and then when you get to meet them, they're sweet. But you have to make them feel emotionally safe
When you meet
first.
Floyd, you're going to be so fucking, like, I don't even understand this. You're just not.
Your book's already scrambled my brain.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not used to feeling like I don't understand what's happening.
If he talks to you and you mention something I didn't put in the book, we're at dinner. I said, look, I keep introducing you to all these fly-ass girls, and you don't do shit for me. So I need something. He goes, well, what's this? This before Hollywood Unlocked. It's a true story. He goes, well, what do you need? I said, well, I got some money for Justin Bieber. I got a deal where they're going to give him $1 million, they'll give me $100,000, and they'll give you $100,000.
Oh.
He said, well, shit, why you didn't tell me? When you want to meet him? I said, well, whenever. He goes, want to meet him right now? I said, yeah. We get in the car. There's probably like 30 of us, and we drive to Justin Bieber's house. He goes in the elevator. He walks me up to Justin Bieber, and he goes, hey, JB, this is Jason Lee. He got something for you. Go ahead, y'all talk. And I sit down with Justin Bieber, and I tell him what I have for him. I mean, the police came and raided the place afterwards. So we didn't get to finish the conversation. But I was able to sit there with Justin Bieber and listen to a song he has with Michael Jackson that's not released, that he can't release. That's the most beautiful song ever that I made him play 5 times.
Oh my God.
And forgot I was there to pitch something because I was caught up in this song with him and Michael Jackson. But that's the type of friend that Floyd is.
He's a real one.
And when you in this city and you've been like at it for years and you hook a Carucci up with a Chris Brown but can't get her on the show, and you start meeting people who are very much like brand first, relationship second, or relationship whenever, and you meet somebody who, before they say anything, says, do you need anything? Are you good? Do you need me to make a call?
Right.
You want me to call somebody?
That's a real one.
Go on a meeting. Me and him plotting. Like, okay, early stages of Hollywood Unlocked. All right, I'm about to FaceTime you when I get in. No, FaceTime me when I get in the meeting. I'll be in the meeting talking and pitching, and then Floyd Mayweather's FaceTiming in.
He's your wingman.
So he's like, you know what I mean? So he'll let you get that look. Yeah, of course he's not going to want people to know he's that person because, I mean, shit. Then you're going to start liking him.
And you know the funny thing is that Floyd's been around for so long, and it sounds from what you're saying like he has a space of mastery, that he's mastered his domain. I think one of the things I've learned is we're all learning in this industry, right? Like when someone got an Emmy 4 years ago, they're still learning how they want to move around. So I received that because she might see this and be like, oh, I just learned something. You know what I mean?
Well, that's why I said it.
And that's the thing I love about this is that we can learn from each other without like getting defensive.
Yeah, you don't have to bash or attack.
And I wish, that's why the show's called Humanized, because I realize when you humanize everybody in the room, the conversation's a lot more fun.
Yeah.
Because there's no bad guys and good guys. We're just a bunch of like flawed assholes trying to figure it out the best we can.
Now, could you imagine if we all literally were on the same page? Like from the
world domination.
From the consumer market to the culture. Like we own it all. The biggest celebrities in the world, Beyonce, they're all us.
Yeah.
If we could all get on the same page. I don't know how it's going to happen. But maybe these conversations are things that drive people to it. But I feel like, different countries I go to, I'll be walking down the street and people love Hollywood Unlocked or they love me or whatever. Then I look online and the most criticism I get sometimes are from our people. And it's probably because of my antics. But I'm like, listen, the celebrities won't stop doing the shit and you won't stop consuming it.
Right.
So why do I get the hit?
Supply and demand.
I'm the
Jason.
dealer. I'm
Jason,
the dealer.
It's the smirk though. You got a smirk for that.
Well, am I supposed to look?
Look at the
This how y'all want me to look?
It's the smirk, Jason.
If I walked the VMA red carpet looking like I was so drunk on the VMA red carpet.
You pulled the Kanye.
No, I was drunk, but I had my glasses on. I almost had threw up right before the car pulled up. I walked the carpet. They're like, so what you think about the documentary Michael Jackson? I was like, fuck them two niggas who was talking shit because they fucking lying. Don't you be disrespecting Michael Jackson, bitch. Pull up. They was like, okay. Lizzo, you hear this shit, bitch?
Okay, I love that we've seen both sides of you show up during this interview because it's a complete picture.
He ain't that far away. If he make me walk up 3 more flights of stairs, he's gonna come back. I'm telling you.
Okay, rapid fire. This is so much fun. Okay, what makes you feel safe emotionally?
A nigga.
You know what? This motherfucker. Who was the first person who ever made you feel worthy?
A nigga. No. Okay. The first person that ever made me feel worthy, Edwin Fleming, who was my he's one of the first who was in my story. He was my counselor at my group home. He eventually gave me my first job working in a group home that I graduated from and then later died of AIDS. It was like devastating.
Oh, yeah, you have to come back because it's too much.
Yeah.
What do you think your brother thinks of the life that you created for yourself?
Extremely proud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that one, I totally feel that. When was the last time you cried?
The last time I cried, Gabriel Fernandez. That documentary took me out.
Yo.
Like cry. That's like a different type of cry. Wipe me out. And people FaceTiming me. I wanted to do a video, but my eyes were so swollen I couldn't even do it. And the next day I had to lay in bed the entire day because I was emotionally devastated.
Yeah, I can't watch that to have a day off because I have too many shoots.
Yeah, you need a day off.
Bad habit you're trying to break right now.
Niggas.
You know what?
A bad habit that I'm trying to break right now. A bad habit that I'm trying to break right now, I think, is feeling guilty when I take time off.
Amen. What is your love language? Do you know what the 5 love languages are? Physical touch, gifts, acts of service, doing stuff for you, nice words, and quality time. What do you think your love language
I think quality time.
That actually is what I guess for you.
Because time is very limited, and I feel like I'm very intentional with how I spend my time now. And it's crazy because the other day, I was doing something, and then right when I was done, the phone rang with my conference call, and I know somebody next to me was like, "Damn, your shit is scheduled down to the minute." And I'm like, because I just like to know that I'm doing something, and the people I spend time with, I like to know that we're doing something. Like I used to go out and drink with people just to get drunk, and I realized like I wasn't compartmentalizing my relationships. This was the person I was trying to do this website with. This was the person I was getting drunk with. This was the person I was doing this with. I'm like, nah. So now I have like compartments. And some people feel like they should be in multiple compartments. Thank God I control what compartment I put people in.
Oh, you control everything. Jason, last one, you ready?
Yes.
Legacy. If you could say your legacy in one sentence in 20 years from now, what do you want it to be?
Savage.
Huh.
Savage.
Savage Fenty.
Savage. Period. Savage.
Okay.
Like he built that shit, sold it for $500 million, flipped that, put $100 million here, flipped it, did it all with a GED. Savage.
That's beautiful, actually. Ladies and gentlemen, I think we've all met the real Jason Lee, and I really want you to do this again.
Of course.
This was so much fun.
This was fun.
Yay!
This was
See,
good.
it feels good. You've been humanized.
Yeah, well, now I'm back to being a savage.
Buy the book, guys. Buy the book.
Thank you.
Bye.